I also want to thank our partners in this overall project: New Jersey Citizen Action, the Housing and Community Development Network, Legal Services of New Jersey, the New Jersey Tenants Organization, the Essex Newark Foreclosure Task Force, and the City of Newark and Mayor Booker's office for all their hard work and attention to this ongoing problem. The wave of property foreclosures, as we all know, has taken a terrible toll on homeowners across the country. Just less than a year ago, I visited Newark to call attention to an issue that receives a lot less attention than homeowner foreclosures, but can be just as painful and disruptive. And that is the phenomena of people who rent their homes, apartments or single-family homes, being forced out because the properties where they live are in foreclosure. I said late last year that the practice of forcing renters out because the bank has taken over and wants to sell the property without tenants is in fact illegal here in New Jersey. Tenants are protected. And that's because New Jersey law specifically protects the rights of tenants to stay in their homes in the event of a foreclosure. In 1974, New Jersey enacted the Anti-Eviction Act, which protects residential tenants from eviction based solely on foreclosure. I cannot state this strongly enough. If foreclosure is the sole reason that a tenant is told to leave his or her home, that is not legal activity in New Jersey. Since we endeavored to bring attention to this issue last year, my department has received more than 160 calls for assistance, but we know we're just scratching the surface because, of course, most New Jersey residents, a majority of them, are in fact tenants. During this last year, we have identified some trends, and let me describe some of them for you. We have helped tenants to vindicate their right to stay in their homes, only to see those homes become uninhabitable because of the former or new owner's failure to pay the utility bills. Last winter, we worked with a fire official in Jefferson Township who himself installed space heaters for tenants living in a building without heat. This summer and fall, we've assisted many tenants who've had their water service cut off because their landlord didn't pay the bill. You will hear from one of those tenants, Laura Battles, about this issue in a moment. We have seen tenants harassed by repeated phone calls and unannounced visits from real estate agents working for lenders, until some of the tenants decide to move on even though they initially had wanted to stay in their homes. When we learn of such misconduct, we report it to the Real Estate Commission for Investigation and possible discipline. We have dealt with attorneys for the banks who won't tell us to whom a tenant should pay their rent, and then turn around and then threaten to evict the tenant for non-payment of rent. We have addressed the problem of sheriffs who post notices misleading tenants to believe they must vacate the premises due to foreclosure when actually only the owner can be evicted. And we partnered with the Attorney General to educate sheriffs about the law and proper notification procedure. Even when providing direct assistance to tenants in need, we are also working with an array of partners towards more systemic solutions to this problem. To ensure that all tenants receive clear notice of their rights, we proposed a court rule that would require lenders to send standard notices to tenants during the foreclosure process. We're also working with a coalition of advocates, representatives of a lot of whom are present here today, to pass legislation that would provide tenants notice of their rights soon after a foreclosure sale. In this effort, we are grateful for the leadership of sponsors Ronald L. Rice in the Senate and Majority Leader Bonnie Watson Coleman in the Assembly. We're also grateful to our partners, many of whom, again, are here today: Citizen Action, the Housing and Community Development Network, and Legal Services of New Jersey. As always, I want to hear from tenants who have been pressured to leave their homes, who are living in unsafe conditions because of their landlord's default. And I urge anyone in this situation to call the Public Advocate's Office of Citizen Relations immediately for their assistance. The phone number is 609-826-5070, and our web address is www.njpublicadvocate.gov. And finally, I just wanted to note with great satisfaction some very good news from yesterday. We know there had been an issue here in Newark with owners not paying their water bills, and the city being forced to terminate the water, to shut off the water service. I'm just very gratified that the city yesterday made the decision that it was suspending water shutoffs and it would restore water service to those who were previously restored. I really want to commend the city, Mayor Booker, the entire city administration for taking that step and realizing, especially now that we're coming into the winter season with so many steam boilers, etc., that was the water shutoffs were imposing that hardship on on tenants and residents who by and large almost always don't actually owe the water bill; they pay it through their rent, and therefore we're suffering a hardship due to their landlord's default. So I think that was a very, very commendable move by the city, and I just want to thank them for taking that step. Now I'd like to invite Jose Ortiz of Essex Newark Legal Services, who's been a tremendous partner on this issue, to say a few words.